be totally honest with you, it was actually my lovely wife who actually did a lot of searching online, and it was narrowed down to Michael Keefrider by virtue of the reviews. And there's actually a slight connection here because he actually was associated with the high school that I went to, Floresville High, and I knew of him back when I was going to school there. It was very intriguing to me to hear that he had changed his careers and gone into the real estate industry. We had a great rapport with each other when we first met, and I knew through that interview process with him that he was the right person for selling this house. Well, it's been awesome. We got a chance to meet another member of his team, Barbara. It was fantastic. She came to the house and looked it over, and she gave her insights to what she believed to be the value of the house. It's a very complex house because there's not a lot of comps that would be an easy match for determining what the list price should be for the house or the selling price. So she was very valuable in giving her insights. And I think we had to strategically think about what kind of buyer would be interested in this house, because it's not just a typical house. And I think that through the three of us discussing this, and of course I had many conversations with my wife as well as my brother to come up with what we thought might be some good places to try and delve into. Team Keefrider came up with some great options, and we just recently had an open house after another deal had fallen through, and it was really a financing issue with the first buyer. I think they were just a little over their heads. You know how it is like to find a house that you fall in love with, but it's really somewhat kind of out of your price range or what you really feel comfortable spending. So I think that's what we got caught up in, is a young family that wanted that house desperately, but really couldn't truly afford it. I think it sounds like we have some new buyers that are much more financially sound and have that same kind of passion for the house. And it's exciting to think that, they could carry on the family tradition that my parents had started so many years ago at this property. Well, I would say for certain is the fact that Michael has a degree in psychology, and I think trying to deal with my sister, who was part of this whole arrangement as well. See, I'm the trustee for this house, and I'm obligated to try to find the right buyer and get the most out of selling this house. I knew that Michael was going to somewhere along the way run into my sister, although I tried to keep her away from the direct process as much as I could. She reached out and called him directly. She's just a very difficult person at times. And I told him that you're really going to have to use your psychological abilities here to make sure that you can try to cope with her. And he was tremendous about trying to think through things as we tried to navigate the initial process with the first buyers. And then also with this, as we continued this process for relisting the house and the open house and so forth, he was excellent at trying to make her feel like she was part of the process as much as possible. And I think that was very admirable of him to do that. I think he has a great way about him to accept the things. And of course, Barbara was awesome too. I mean, I think I just reiterate the fact that it seemed, I wasn't a 24/7 process, but at the same time, there were some times when he picked up the phone and called at a later hour, and I was very happy about doing that, because I think sometimes either misunderstandings of what's transpired on a contract or what the other real estate agent is trying to convey, or the other attorney in this instance. Sometimes you really need to think it over and actually have a short conversation and ability to actually try to brainstorm a little bit. And he's very good about asking us what our thoughts are, but at the same time, he's very willing to share his insights. And, it just helps, in my mind, gets to a better, quicker answer. And then it just allows for the process to continue moving along so that there's not any roadblocks in the seamlessness of that process. So for me, actually, I lived in that house for 25 years of my life and graduated from college. And then I soon after got married, and we moved to Somers, Connecticut, as I mentioned. And I've been in the same house ever since then. So I never really had to be involved in actually selling a property. This has been a great experience for me, and I've learned a tremendous amount about the process. And it'll help me down the road when we decide to sell our house and kind of spend some time elsewhere. My wife and I are both retired, and we're just anxious to try and see more of the country and things like that, do some traveling and things like that. So therefore I don't have anything to compare it to, but I think anyone and everyone would really enjoy the process and understand how he was willing to talk to me late in the evening on a couple of occasions because we had some real emergencies that came up, and he was willing to talk to me early in the morning on other occasions. So he's very dedicated to what he does. He does it really well. And I think he's always thinking about different strategies on how to navigate through the process. It's never really straightforward. So with this one, I think it was even a little more challenging than normal. But at the same time, I think he feels rewarded by the outcome and the hard work that goes into actually finding the right buyer. I would tell them that you're working with someone that's really going to look out for your best interest, is very willing to give you his professional insight, someone that has a lot of experience in doing this, whether it's be buying or selling properties for the clients, and that you can't go wrong. I think you would be going the right path if you chose him and the Keefrider team to actually help you with that process and make sure that things went as smoothly as possible. And if you're lucky enough like me, you might end up with a cheesecake at some point or another. You never know. Well, I just wanted to say that I want to give a thanks, and I don't know the young lady's name, but whoever was responsible for willing to step up and have the showing on this past Saturday. Someone from his team, and I lost track of her name, but it was tremendously nice for her to do that and for her to be involved in this process as well. So I gave Michael and Barbara the first kudos for this, but I also owe her a thanks as well. One other thing is that, I think there's probably not going to be anyone that has a more complicated situation than we do, because I'm 2 hours away, and I was able to come back and forth, and we were able to work through a lot of issues as far as getting the house ready for sale and things like that. So I think if it was as easy as it was for me, then any future clients I'm sure would be really pleased with what they have to work with his team.